Today is July 27th. The Bucs win the series against the Diamondbacks. Pitching was the story in this series. Trade deadline is this week. So much to talk about here. You're listening to the Bridge to Buctober podcast. Let's go. Yins, guys. Thank you for listening to the Bridge to Buctober podcast, where we talk all about them Pittsburgh Pirates and that. My name is Josh, and I am joined, as always, by my brother, Jake. What's up, Jake?
How's it going, man?
It's going all right.
Yeah.
Pirates win a series, man.
It's good. It's good stuff, man. Good things. Good things.
Good things. What is that? Along Came Polly?
Along Came Polly.
There's a lot of quotes from Along Came Polly that I think it's like
lot.
The movie itself is maybe a little bit underrated because of the quotes. Not because like sitting there watching it, but maybe just the quotes. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, the quotes just, they're...
I just said Lubin the other day.
Let it rain!
Let it rain. Dude, rain dance for sure.
So funny. Such a good, I don't know. That's a good movie.
It is a good, like I said, a little bit underrated.
Yeah. I like one of the very small side tangent here. I like when Ben Stiller's not trying to be the funny guy.
Oh yeah, totally.
He's so much better.
Mm-hmm.
That.
Enough of that. Hey, Dave Parker officially Hall of Fame today. The ceremony. Did you watch? You said you watched a little bit of it.
I saw the clip.
The
on,
clip
on Twitter. Yeah.
I did watch. I watched most of it. I didn't watch. I think I watched through CC, and so I got to see most of that while the game was ending and all that stuff.
Yeah. Pretty
interesting. Like game ending and Dave Parker's son doing like all those things were happening at the same time. So like I had one on my computer and one over on the TV, and I was just like, all right, but it was good. It was good. Actually,
I'm in the hall now. You can't take that away. That statue better look good. You know I got a pretty face.
Dave Parker, Hall of Fame. Love it.
A
lot of good things about, obviously grew up in Cincinnati, so a lot of that, but also a lot of good things about the Pirates in there. And dude, his son did a really good job doing the speech. It was a little bit hard to follow sometimes. There was a lot of like conversations between him and his dad. And he just uses pops all the time, which is also interesting for us because we associate Willie Stargell with pops, but a lot of people associated Dave Parker with pops as well, even like beyond his years here because he was the veteran, right? And so he kind of became that same thing. I heard Eric Davis talking about how he basically came into Cincinnati and said, this is what I learned from Clemente and Stargell and so on, right? And now I'm going to do that here and just create this different clubhouse culture here that they created there. And it was like a really good kind of like hat tip to those, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To those guys in Pittsburgh and what they did with family and all that stuff. So big deal. I thought it was really cool, but his son, looks a lot like him and sounds a lot like him, I think was the thing that I was kind of like, man, you close your eyes for that, for the poem that he read at the end, and it's like, that's him. Obviously, it just seems like it. That's really good. But I always love the Hall of Fame stuff. I'm a sucker for this kind of stuff. MLB debuts, Hall of Fame inductions, all those things. Like, man, I love that stuff. I love that side of baseball. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's a big deal for me.
Did you watch Ichiro's?
No, so I think he was later. I didn't get to see him. I like I said, I watched through CC. So I saw Billy Wagner was first, and then Dave Parker with David Parker the second, and then Dick Allen's wife, and then CC. So there was still, was Ichiro the only one I didn't see then?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I thought, yeah, because I think there were 5. Yeah, so I think that's it. But yeah, it was good, and I'll go back and watch Ichiro's obviously, but
I've just heard I didn't watch it either, but
Yeah.
I've just heard that he's a pretty funny dude, so
yeah,
I'm just kind of interested to hear it.
in that. Yeah, yeah, that'd be a good one.
Speaking of the 39,
Yeah,
Nikki G went on record saying, it should be retired. All this, I don't know why I'm wearing it. Well, he followed it up. Was it the Friday or whatever it was? Whatever day was the 25th. It was posted by Stumpf. Yeah, and he's in the process of changing his number.
yeah, that's cool.
He says, I mean, agree with it or not, right? He's like, if you're in the Hall of Fame, I shouldn't be wearing your number.
Yeah, I know that there was so there were some things that Dick Allen's wife said that the Phillies, at least, their thing is that like you don't retire numbers of guys that aren't in the Hall of Fame. Like that's just a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would think that your own franchise could retire whatever number you want, regardless of whether he's in the Baseball Hall of Fame. You can retire it, right? And but
each team has their own Hall of Fame. Usually.
Absolutely, yeah. And really, that doesn't even have to do anything with it because the Pirates, they've had retired numbers for a long time, but no Hall of Fame. And so it was kind of there. But yeah, I thought that was interesting that that's kind of their team policy. But back then, they did it anyway. They were like, no, we're going to retire number 15 for Dick Allen anyway. And it was like this major thing. And even though he wasn't in the Hall of Fame until now, but it was that was a really crazy part of the story too, because she was like, at that time, like we didn't know that he only had 4 months to live. You know what I mean? And so like that was huge. And I wonder sometimes for some of these players, like not unlike Dave Parker, but if once they get that news, if that was kind of like he was so satisfied, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That plays in part of the length of time that they live. You know what I mean? I don't know if there's like some sort of, and I don't know, like, and I'm not saying, you know what I mean? This is just me grabbing at straws here, but like, I wonder if there's some sort of like sense of completion that you feel that comforts you enough that maybe if there's something like that and you're in pain and suffering and you stop, I don't know. You would have liked to have seen him make it here, but I'm so glad that he was at least able to know that he was here.
Yeah.
Or that he was going in rather. And so it made for a kind of, see, Matt puts in the chat, like Ozzy maybe. Yeah, I mean, he did his last show and then shortly after it was like, okay, there was this completion. I had closure, and it almost feels like that happens sometimes. So thanks for saying that, because I started to feel like I was maybe a little bit crazy, Matt. But yeah, it does kind of have that. I don't know. Has that, like, I think about that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like you think about it with non-athletes as well, right?
Like
maybe
like
you
Ozzy.
get to see. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just talking about just non-famous people.
I got you.
You have a relative, you finally get to see them, and then maybe you live far away. You come in and you get to see them, and then shortly after that, they pass on, and it's like they just were hanging on just to see somebody or get some closure, or like, be told it's okay. Stuff like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
The old the things that people say.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know it, but yeah, I mean, I think you have a point there. It's valid.
So, yeah, one more time for Dave Parker.
Yeah.
One more time.
I'm in the hole now.
That's it, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. All right, so let's talk about the weekend series. We're going to talk trades a little bit later. Make sure we get into some trade talk and stuff like that. But let's talk about this weekend series against the Diamondbacks, because there is some serious conversation surrounding what just happened. So I'll start with the easy thing, right? They win the series, and that wins the homestand. So despite starting off with being swept by the White Sox, they then turn around, sweep the Tigers, win the series, and now they win the homestand, the 9-game homestand. So take wins wherever you can get them when you're watching a team like this, right?
Yeah.
But that's cool. This weekend, go ahead.
That's big. That's being a goldfish, man. Just turn the page. Short memory, go get it.
Yeah, I like that.
Sorry, Ted Lasso reference there.
Okay. There you go. For those Ted Lasso fans out there.
Yeah.
Dude, this weekend was all about pitching. All about it. Paul Skeens throws an absolute gem Sunday to kind of complete the weekend series dub. 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs, a walk, and 9 strikeouts. Burrows had a no-hitter through 4 1/3 Friday night. Ends up going 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. And on Saturday, probably the most surprising of the group, Andrew Heaney only made it through 5 for some reason, and we can talk about that if we want, but 5 innings, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 4 strikeouts after throwing just 71 pitches. The Pirates starting pitchers this weekend threw 17 scoreless innings this weekend.
Awesome.
And if you go back to the Tigers series, Falter, 7 innings pitched, 1 run. Keller, quality start, 6 and 3 runs, 6 innings, 3 runs, and 6 scoreless the last time Skeens was out there too. Like pitching right now, coming out of that White Sox series has been dominant. And listen, you go old school here for a second, Jake. If Skeens is your ace, what's another name for ace that you want your guy to be when you're struggling? I'll put you on the spot. Stopper, right?
Stopper,
you wanted to be a stopper.
Yeah.
And look at that. He stopped it. And then they built off of that. And now it's been one time through the rotation of dominance. And that's just absolutely wild. The rotation continues to be a reason why this team just needs to really be half decent on offense.
Yeah.
So let's go into the individual games. And then, I've got some other things too. Well, actually, the Pirates still only gave up 1 run this whole series, and it was an unearned run. It was a Manfred runner in the 11th inning Friday night.
Yeah, this is the second series we've had this year where we did not give up a single earned run, which is insane.
Yeah, that's nuts. Yeah,
it's crazy.
And it was actual 3 shutouts, right, against the Cardinals.
Yeah. That's wild. The pitching's been so good. It's a shame that this hasn't just been a decent offense.
I know.
Early on, I was frustrated with the offense and the pitching was awesome, but I wasn't quite there as far as I am now. It's just this was kind of a lost season.
Kind of.
Like this, kind of, because
we knew the pitching.
Lost. Yeah. No season's completely lost, but like we knew the pitching was going to be good. They're doing more than what we anticipated, really, especially when Jones goes down.
Yeah, that was a big one.
It's just like and it's next person up, and they stepped right in and have gotten the job done, and it really. I guess early on, I had hopes that the offense could come around. And now it's just like, they could, but it's still over.
Right. Oh, it's still over. They still need growth, right? That's the thing is like, at some point you say, man, I just wish we could end the season right now. But like the Pirates need a lot to get done in the next 2 months that they need to grow. Brian Reynolds needs to get some confidence back. You need to see more of what you saw this weekend from O'Neal Cruz, which I think he had a really good series, specifically in a couple different ways that we can even talk about. I mean, we will bring up at some point, but you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know, man. There still needs to be growth. I mean, Nicky G, who missed the beginning part of the season, needs that seasoning. He needs to know what it feels like to get through the whole year.
Horowitz needs to continue to get that wrist right.
Exactly. Horowitz needs to keep the wrist going. We need Henry Davis at bats to try to see, is there offense there? The defense is there. I feel great about the defense. If nothing else, he'll be a backup catcher, and he'll have somebody like Paul Skeens that he can catch. But at some point, you really want the weird thing is we thought his bat was going to be the strength.
Here's my theory on Henry Davis. You got to give him at bats.
Mm-hmm.
He's a hitter. He is. He's always been a hitter at every level he's been at. Bro focused hard, and it shows. He is a very good defensive catcher now.
Yeah.
I think his hitting will come. He just needs the at-bats. I think he'll take a little bit of a chill pill on working. Like, now he's got his defense. He won't have to work as hard to keep it as he did to get it. That makes sense. So I think he'll be able to focus on hitting again a little bit more, and I think it comes around. He's a hitter, dude. He's gonna be okay. He just needs the at-bats, and he needs the seasoning, just like Nicky G.
Yeah, one of the things about his defense that makes him what he is, though, like the most crazy, because like still blocks for the whole season, like still blocks are a little bit below average, but that's for the whole season. So you could assume it's maybe getting better. He throws runners out and his pop time is ridiculous, right? Like that is
so good.
That's really good. Pitch framing, league average right now, as far as StatCast goes, as far as baseball's font. But that, again, that's for the whole season. So how much has that improved? But the biggest thing about his game is, first off, he limits base stealers because the pop time and the arm strength and the accuracy is all there. That's really good. But also it's his preparation. And that's something that you don't know until you see it and hear it. When you hear guys saying things like, that commercial's on for Skeens all the time where he said he's the most prepared player I've ever played with. You know what I mean? And so like things like that. So like, I know what you were saying, but like just to use your phrasing, take a chill pill, like so long as he doesn't take a chill pill on the things that makes him really good, then he'll be fine. But what you were saying is that extra effort work that he went through that maybe gets in the way of hitting. And I think that's more like off-season workouts, right? And so now it's like we can get the bat going. But you just want him to have more at-bats and more seasoning at the plate to see. And you're confident he breaks out of that. I'm mostly just saying, like, we got to know if we need a starter or if he can be the starter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I think that's a really good point, man.
And I just don't need him to be an offensive crazy good. I just need you to be league average. You get me league average or a tick over with some pop.
Right.
Let's go.
Give me home runs, right? Give me power.
Yes.
We've seen a lot of catchers like that over the years. Have been like, yeah, their average is low, this and that, but they can hit 12 homers. You know what I mean? 12 to 15 homers.
Who was the one? I mean, he wasn't in the league real. I mean, he might have been a while, but started with a Z. Zunino, is that right?
Mike Zunino.
Where he just like hit bombs, but he didn't have a high average.
He had
a
long career,
but he was on some championship teams, right? Or close to. Like he played for the Rays for a couple years, where he had some good seasons.
Yeah,
and made it far.
No World Series though, but he was on some good teams though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he was a good defensive catcher. He was a leader, but like he was a career 199 hitter, but he played in major leagues for 11 seasons.
Yeah.
Like you don't play in the major leagues for 11 seasons, 6 of them in Seattle, 4 in Tampa, 1 in Cleveland. But like if you look at, so like I'm looking at Baseball Reference now because that's my go-to, but like in his 6 years in Seattle, he had a 7 WAR. So like he's at least a positive player. But he had 149 homers, like just to drive your point home. 149 homers. Like he had a year of 33 home runs where he got an all-star nod in Tampa. That's actually, not good because he had a 3.7 WAR that year and a 2.6 overall in his time in Tampa. But here's the thing, depends on what WAR's not perfect, but it shows that there was at least something there. He hit 216 that year. He hit 33 homers, right? So it's not all good.
Right.
But it was good enough to hit at the bottom of an order and be a good catcher. That's a good call out. That's a good call out.
I suspect that, we're not going to see once he gets going right. I don't think we're going to see 216 out of Davis, but we could see a 230 hitter, but just hit me some bombs.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want it to be that low. Brandon's calling me.
But but Davis, to Davis's point too, or to benefit as well, his OPS is going to be better because he gets walked. Like if he bats 230, he's probably slash lining like 230 and with a 330 on base. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's just that's how kind of the hitter I see him. And then
that'd be fantastic.
Right.
He'd be well above league average at that point.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I will accept the little bit lower batting average from him because I have faith that he's going to get on base because he does know the strike zone. He's not afraid to get walked.
Yeah, 177 average right now. Obviously, the strikeouts are the biggest problem in the game right now. Let's hit the ball and play. Trust yourself a little bit. It's just at bats. I think that's all there is to it. You got to have at bats. If he ends the season under 200, then it's a sign that like, okay, maybe we need to pay attention to this. I don't know that it's there. I'd give him the off season, but I don't know, man. That there's a little bit of a difference in there. So I don't know. I really like what he does defensively and with pitchers specifically.
Yeah,
that relationship with pitchers is a big deal. And Doug Smith points that out. Davis versus Bart ERA is stark. And then Matt says Bart has been catching some great pitching performance lately. Davis may be an influence there too. I've heard that Davis is in the room even non-start days. So he absolutely could.
Yeah.
Bucko Mike. Davis is Skeens Eddie Perez. I don't know. He could end up being, so this is worst case scenario, right? He ends up being Eddie Perez, which was Greg Maddox's personal catcher, went everywhere he went, right? And he said, you're signing me, you're signing Eddie Perez. He's going to catch my days. And that's the only day he ever caught Javi Lopez or whoever caught the rest of the games. That's worst case scenario. I still think he's that good that he maybe could be somebody who's like, I'm going to be in the league to do this. You know what I mean? Best case scenario, he figures out the bat and he's better than that,
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's really interesting. A couple things in the chat here. Matt says 99 pitches for 6 innings tells me Skeens is still workshopping with what he can get away with. What was really interesting about his game today is he fell behind so many hitters today and just was able to get through all of it. I'm going to go a little more in depth into his game, but like, if he gets out ahead, he's easy 7 or 8 innings today.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, Martin says Billy Cook has started hitting for power at Indy, so maybe Reynolds can find his power too. Billy Cook was doing that like less of a step thing, and the power just disappeared. He had like 5 straight games with a homer in July, and he's still hitting home runs. I feel like he has like 6 home runs this month at this point. And so it's nice to see that power. The problem with the Pirates is why wouldn't they call him up and start tapping into it? As soon as Pham leaves, I want to give Billy Cook a run in left field because he's hot right now. Why wouldn't you?
Right.
And they won't. They'll call him up and then they'll play Canario for a week. And then Billy Cook will cool down. You know what I mean? I know that's a Derek Shelton thing, but like that's also just what's going on. I don't know if that's what's going to happen or not, but I'd like to see if he can carry this hot streak a little bit, especially because Pham is on one right now.
Yeah. And, I feel like we've already given that to Canario.
Yeah.
And so I think it's time for somebody else to get it.
Yeah.
So I'm good with a Billy Cook extended look.
Talk to me about Mike Burrows. Did you get an opportunity to watch like the full outing there for Burrows?
I didn't get a chance to watch the full outing. I was playing softball myself, but I mean the changeup's filthy, dude. It's filthy. Disgusting. I love it. I love watching him pitch. He's just pulling the strings so good.
And Friday night like the fastball, the slider, it was like seemed to be all kind of clicking.
All clicking. Yeah. So good, man. I didn't know, like I knew he was going to be all right, but he's just gone above and beyond what we thought he was going to do, especially this early on. He was one of them guys that I would have expected to come up and be okay, be serviceable, maybe get knocked around a few games here and there. But man, that changeup plays, and now his other off speed, his fastball, everything is just coming together nicely. Kudos to Oscar Marine, I think. Like, he's pushing the right buttons this year. Might be saving his job.
Yeah, I mean, so he's up to 52 innings now. 11 starts, 12 games, a 4.15 ERA, and a 1.33 WHIP. Now, some of that gets damaged with bad starts, and he's had those, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he just had one this month, July 12th, 6 runs, inning and a third, and that's the one that knocks him around a little bit. But in June, 5 starts, 6 appearances, 12.73 ERA, or I'm sorry, 2.73 ERA. And that's after having 2 stinkers to really lead off his season. 8.64 in just 2 games, 8 earned runs and 8 and a third. Yeah. So like he bounces back. He has a really good month, even with a 4-run outing in the middle of that against Texas. It's no runs, 2 runs, 1 run, 4, 0, 1, 0. And then the 6-run outing where he only goes an inning and a third, right? He had the ERA down to 3.63 at that point before that game. It balloons to 4.83 in that one game. And now he's climbed it all the way down to 4.15. So like it shows that like he's getting somewhere with this and he's learning some lessons. I mean, even the game in Seattle where he got down to 3.63, he went 5 scoreless, but he walked 4 guys. So the whip's taking a hit, right? And so you have some of these like underlying stats that's saying like, okay, well, it's a rookie season. That's what it looks like. But like, this is an arm that you absolutely can look at and say, yeah, I'm fine with this moving forward. Like this dude's actually got it and he's learning some valuable lessons right now. And I don't know. I mean, you slot him in like your 4 spot in a rotation and I would feel really good about that.
Oh yeah.
If he can be somewhere around a 4 from the 4 spot,
he's going to be a guy that's going to be, please don't rip me apart for this.
Uh-oh.
He's a great guy that if we make it to the postseason, he will transition to the bullpen so well too.
Oh, I see.
It'd be like that fourth starter, 4th or 5th starter, and he'll be able to go into the bullpen, and he's still going to be a dog out of there too.
Right.
I think he's got that.
And that probably, I mean, obviously we're not even worrying about that there. So, okay. What's up, Mike? Michael 412 says 3.38 ERA through 7 home starts. That's 34 2/3. So obviously you like to see the guys that pitch well at home. PNC Park is a pitcher's park, specifically for lefties, even though he's not. But that changeup may be a big pitch at PNC Park for obvious reasons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So best Bucko Mike. Best case for Davis is Eddie Perez, career 253 average. Worst case, Austin Hedges. Once again, you can't look at batting average for this. It just doesn't even apply. Just don't look at batting average. Give me OPS because that's the kind of hitter Davis is going to be. Somebody that's going to actually show some pop. So batting average doesn't play. And to be fair, just to lay it all out there, I like what Henry Davis is doing behind the plate. I don't think he holds a candle to Austin Hedges yet defensively. I know it sounds crazy, right? Pop time's better. He's going to throw guys out more. But like Austin Hedges does things that no one does. That's literally the only reason he still gets employed is because he's so far above everyone else in like pitch framing and all the things. So if that's worst case, I mean, I know what you mean though. You mean at the plate. And that's fine. But yeah, I don't think 253. I haven't looked up Eddie Perez, right? I don't know if he was taking his walks. He might have a 253 average with a 289 on base. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. You could have a 204 right now and still have a better on base than that. Some guys do. I don't think Henry Davis is one of them, but there's too much strike out there. But offense is different than it was in the 90s. You just can't go apples to apples there. Some guys you can. Some guys play for average still. Luis Ariz plays for average.
Yeah.
So I don't care how you get the on base up, whether you want to do it with walks or whether you want to do it with hits. I don't care. So long as you get the on base up, that's really king for me. Get on base. That's my deal. All right, so let's talk about Andrew Heaney, because is that his last start? I mean, it's definitely his last start with the Pirates, unless they don't trade him.
Listen, you said we can talk about it if you want. What was it, 71 pitches?
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about that.
There's not a lot to talk about, but let's just say, cool, he got through that. Let's just take him out.
Yeah. Are you with this? You good with it?
With him?
Taking him out?
Yeah. Dude, he's been not good lately.
Yeah.
So if you get me through 5 innings and you haven't given up anything yet, it's a matter of time. I'm gonna pull you.
No walks, just 2 hits. Like he was on cruise control. You don't care.
If it's a guy that's, I don't care with Andrew Heaney.
Sorry, look, 297. He didn't even have a 300 on base. What's 254 doing for you? You ain't even on base at 300? That's terrible. Anyway, keep going.
That's funny. Yeah, and let's not let him get roughed up right before we're trying to trade him.
Yeah, I get that.
He's done so much to hurt his trade value lately that if you can give him an outing where he, scoreless and just I don't want to say dominant, but just a good borderline.
Yeah.
How many Ks?
4 in 5 innings, but like that's,
I just don't.
Dominant has to come with the strikeouts.
I think dominant has to come with the strikeouts. But a very good outing. I'm not taking that away. It's just I don't want to use the word dominant.
Oh wait. I was gonna look up to see like hard hits and that, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
To see if there was anything there. At 3 hard hit balls. That's borderline dominant.
Yeah.
You're there. I mean, you're there. I'm not disagreeing with you, right? I'm just saying, like because you could have a guy go through and have 4 strikeouts, and I mean, if he pitches 8 innings, he still has 7 strikeouts. Maybe, you know what I mean? And so, then if he doesn't give up anything hard, then it's there. All right, last thing. I won't bring it up again, but Bucko Mike's in here all the time. And so, if in my opinion, because he's in here and he's chatting all the time, he's got my respect of pulling his things in here. So that's why I'm bringing it up one more time, and then we're done with Henry Davis. He has a 275 on base lifetime, and his average is under 200 for Henry Davis. I'm sorry, he puts there 275. Lifetime, by the way, is only 1 season of at-bats. Look at the number of plate appearances. That is 1 season of plate appearances. So in the first full season of plate appearances for Henry Davis, he's under 200. I think it's like 188 or something like that. And a 275 on base, which means if he gets his average to 230, then his on base is probably 320. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how you shift that. It might even get better than that. If he gets his average up that high, then you know what I'm saying? It's that's what I'm saying about the 275 on base being so far away from the 188 average. And that guys are only Eddie Perez's are only like 30 points apart. You know what I'm saying? 40 points apart. That's a huge difference. So get Davis to 230, 240, and he's way better than what Eddie Perez was if he ends up over 300 for the on base. But I'm sure Eddie Perez had his seasons where he was better and worse too. So, I'm not going in there. Anyway, so Bucko Mike also says, when you get 5 shutout innings from Heaney right now, don't get greedy. So, I get it, man. I think it's a good point. So
Mm-hmm.
I was upset about it in the moment. I felt like yesterday's or Saturday's game was important for the Pirates as far as, like I said, when you're a team like the Pirates, right? And you know you're not going anywhere. Importance lies in, I want to win this series.
Yeah.
And then you really go down to the micro and say, I want to win this game. So game I get. Series, I'm just like, this is important. We lost the first game. You have to win this to set yourself up for an opportunity for Paul Skeens to finish it off. So that's how I gauge importance. I know that in the grand scheme of things, these games are, you know what I'm saying? They're mostly individually important. But one of the things that this team can learn is how to win games and how to win series. And even if they do or don't do it, because even when you fail, you learn, right? What is the phrase? That there are no losses, there are lessons, or something like that. Whatever it is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so like, you're going to learn from all those things. Here's what we did. Here's what we could have done. Or when you win, hey, this is what worked. And so I thought it was really important. I wanted to win the series. I wanted to win that. And so that's the only reason I was like, man, that's stupid. Grichuk had just been traded, which we're not going to get into. The fact that the Royals are acting like buyers.
Hey, are you ready? Are you ready?
Uh-oh, yeah.
This just came across too.
Uh-oh.
The Royals the only reason I bring it up is because it's the Royals. Oh yeah, they're working on an extension, finalizing an extension for Lugo. So they're taking him off the market. I think they're really
I'm seeing that too.
Pretending to be buyers. They're in.
What are they doing?
No. I don't know.
Like, they're not in position to win anything, Jake.
Mm-mm.
Their offense is as bad as ours, almost as bad as ours. Every time you look and see that we're the bottom team in runs scored, they're right next to it.
Yeah.
I'm looking at have the page pulled up right now. They are they're tied with the Rockies for 28th in offense. And they went out and they acquired Randall Grichuk and Adam Frazier. And then they put Rich Hill on the mound as if that's going to help anything. It's like they're like, yeah, we're acquiring guys. And it's like, you're acquiring bums. No disrespect. So Atlanta, Bugger Mike says Atlanta bought Eric Fetty. Atlanta has no pitchers left. They had to go buy something.
Yeah. That's what I told. We were out and about today, and I told Ash, I said, the Braves just bought a pitcher. So what are they doing? Then it's just, they have so many injuries.
Yeah. Okay, so back to our point, because Bucko Mike makes a good point here. They just had 3 innings to cover, 4 with Heaney. That's why Ashcraft and Majinski are on this team. And they both did fantastic jobs this weekend.
Yeah.
And so, like, I talked about the 17 innings, and the only 1 run or whatever, but I thought I had something else in here too. The bullpen, 11 scoreless innings plus the Manfred inning, so 12 total without an earned run, but 11 scoreless innings in this weekend for the bullpen. So fantastic job all around for pitching, obviously, when you go that long. But anyway, let's finish it off with Paul Skeens, because I thought what he did on Sunday, today's game, was unbelievable. And he was behind hitters, but it didn't feel like it ever was a problem.
Yeah. He has no panic button, man.
No.
None.
No. It was nuts. Let me take you through this a little bit, because I have a statement here that I put in the notes. I'm sure you've seen it. But anyway, let's talk. Second inning, he gives up a 1-out triple. Next 2 batters, strikeout, pop out, run, doesn't score. Third inning, a leadoff double. Strikeout, ground out, runner moves to third, pop out, end of the inning, runner doesn't score. Standing on third. Fourth inning, hit by pitch, strikeout, double, and the hit by pitch was a 3-2 count. Strikeout, double. You got runners on second and third now with 1 out. Back-to-back strikeouts with runners on actually second and third.
Yeah.
And the strikeout was he had that hitter 3-1. He gets him to chase a change up below the zone and then dots a change up in the corner that he swings through. Unbelievable. He retires the next 6 batters to finish his day. It's unreal. It felt impossible. Jake, he is undoubtedly the best pitcher I've ever seen. And I know that like we've said that a few times, and then you kind of back off because you're like, certainly he's not the best, right? There's got to be someone. But we come to this realization every once in a while that when that feeling wears off, you have another game like today that just puts you in awe. And now you're right back to say like, hey, I actually really think that this is the best pitcher I've ever seen.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I didn't get to watch the game today,
Yeah.
but if I had to guess,
I just mean in general about skiing. Like,
yeah. No, so the you get a little more arm side run if you get a little on the side of the ball. So he might not have been completely on top when he was throwing, but that happens. So,
for the audio listeners, you're responding to a chat.
Yeah. He was.
They said he was wild on
arm side. So whatever, he was dominant.
But that is, I mean, you know.
But it's fair, it's valid, and you know, he'll go watch it. He'll fix it, and no doubt, you know, it's just the way he attacks hitters and the way he is unfazed by these situations. It's just, it's not normal, man. It's not normal.
No, and like Bucko Mike puts in here, like, you know, when you've gone 4 innings and you've thrown 77 pitches and you're saying, okay, I need to figure out how to get through the 6th. You know what I mean? And the Bucko Mike puts in here 22 pitches in the last 2 innings.
Yeah.
Just crazy. He had a 10-pitch inning. I think the 10-pitch inning was in the 5th, and in the 6th he went out there with the 12 pitches and DK come out and talk to him. Right? Hey, last hitter, do you got him? Yeah, I got him. All right. I'm out. It's funny because, like, you know, the home crowd's going to boo you for going out and talk to him. When the manager comes out, you're typically always coming out. Don Kelly don't work that way. He's going to go out and he's going to get a feel for it. That's another old school thing. Like, it's not a given. Sometimes the manager came out and talked to the pitcher and didn't take him out. Yeah. Let him plead his case, and then you make the call.
Yeah.
You got one more hitter. This guy gets on, I'm going to the bullpen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got no problem with him going out there and doing that, but just absolutely crazy. And the fact that Skeens he's got his finger on this too. Like, there have been times where he says, yeah, it was my time. You know what I mean? It seems like he really understands what he's doing, and he knows, like, he hardly ever has a problem when he's pulled out of a game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. It's just so good, man. And I think so Matt says, I get the sense that if games mattered, Skeens would go a lot deeper with lower pitch counts. I wonder. I'm kind of both ways on this, Matt, because that's a great point. Like, would he then do that? I think in this game in particular, like I said, he kept getting a guy on. Oh, now I got to get the strikeout pitch. And so, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's saying, like, oh, if he falls behind it, the pitch count's going to be higher. That's obvious. But when you have a guy on second or guys on second and third, you need a strikeout. Then you're going to throw more pitches to do that. So I wonder if this game kind of dictated that a little bit, and his last 2 innings were a little cruise control. But I get the sense that Matt's right here. Like, I could see him wanting to go more innings rather than racking it up, which is going to lower the strikeouts. But at the same time, there is an element of, like, whether or not you trust your bullpen. So, like, let's say we ship off, I mean, Ferguson's gone anyway, but let's say we ship off Santana and Bednar this week. And then this bullpen is in shambles. Well, maybe not, right? There's still some good pitchers there. But let's say that's not what it is right now.
Yeah.
Maybe he does do this more. Maybe he says, I want to go longer.
Yeah. To me, what I'm seeing right now is crazy good as it is. We may not have seen the best of Paul Skeens yet.
Dude, I don't even know. I don't know how to process that. I don't know how that could be true.
I don't either, but like Matt brings up that a good point. I don't think it's that the games don't matter. Because I think Paul Skeens takes every game as a slate to learn something, and I think that's kind of what he's doing right now. I think he's I don't want to say he's playing around with stuff, right? But I think he's who put it up earlier. He's still trying to figure out what he can and can't get away with.
Mm-hmm.
I think he is doing that, and I think he's the student of the game right here. Mike says student of the game, high baseball IQ, and it's only getting higher because he is testing waters. I think he is going, okay, so this works in this situation. This works in this situation. This didn't pan out for me so well. And he's just going to get better. It's just crazy that we may not be seeing the best version of Paul Skeens. And
Dude,
I can't fathom better.
I'm in a group chat for a fantasy league I'm in with the guys from the 3-0 Take. Some Philly fans in there, and they brought up today, they've got Zach Wheeler over there who's putting together a fantastic Cy Young caliber season, right? And the question was whether or not Wheeler can do anything to win because of the way the media pushes Paul Skeens, and also like if Wheeler has one blow up, then it's done for him. You know what I mean? That it'll lose it for him. And it was because of the way that like Paul Skeens is hyped. And right now, I don't know. I mean, the run prevention is ridiculous. A 1.83 ERA is ridiculous. Wheeler has more innings. Wheeler has more strikeouts. Like, he's putting together a Cy Young caliber season. The ERA is around like 2.30, which is still unreal good, right? But when you're talking 1.83, like, I don't know, man. I don't think that Wheeler's, if he has one bad start, I don't know that it's necessarily the media, but I think it's going to create such a gap in that ERA. The most important stat for a Cy Young has to be ERA, has to be run prevention. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know, man. Wheeler's awesome. I actually really enjoy watching him pitch. He's fantastic. And I just like the ERA for Skeens keeps getting lower. I just don't know, like, the Cy Young race for me, man, Skeens is in the driver's seat. And I'm trying not to be biased about it, but like 1.83 ERA. Now, if you look at walks and hits per innings pitched, right? WHIP, Wheeler actually is at 0.89 and Skeens is an 0.90. Like, they're both incredible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Is it partially because Skeens gets to pitch at PNC Park? And maybe some of those would be home runs in Philly because it's not, it is kind of a hitter-friendly park. And so he's got double the home runs that Skeens does.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Like, this is a game like, Miles says, today a game like they separated Skeens and Skubal to him. I didn't want to be biased by fandom until this game. And it is like, you say, like, when are you making an actual decision to say, this is what I see, and, oh man, I just have Pirates glasses on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would be a lot easier if both of these guys played for different teams and you could just analyze it without any emotion in it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild, man, for sure, because you start picking apart at numbers, and what Wheeler's doing is extremely good. Any other year.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, if things do get close, and they are really like neck and neck, you might bring wins and losses into the equation. But you don't do that until they're close. And you look at things like ERA and innings pitched and strikeouts and WHIP. You know what I mean? You're looking at the things that they've done. And like wins and losses doesn't even come into the equation until they're close.
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't matter. You're looking to see who's the best pitcher, not whose team won the most games.
Right.
And at this point, like, he's starting to create a gap. Mike puts out here that Skeen's ERA in July is 0.67. Mike, throw how many stats or how many games that is. Like, how many games did he start? Because you get the All-Star break in there. Well, I mean, Steven started that game. We really want to talk about the dominance of this dude. Second year.
Yeah. Second start in the All-Star game.
All right, it's already 9:53. We have to talk trades. So assume we're going about 15 minutes long tonight, maybe, because I've got some things here. Douglas Smith, who at least was in the chat, he sent me a text this week and just said, you know what? So 5 starts for Skeens. We can close the door on that. Thanks. He basically said, like, I'm thinking about mostly Andrew Heaney, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we bring in these rental players, these 1-year left-handers. We have them for a minute. We trade them. That's literally a good recipe for going out, grabbing a left-hander. There he is. Going out, grabbing a left-hander and saying, this is what you want to do. He's going to pitch well here because this place is good for lefties. And then you can flip him at the deadline for something. You're not going to get a ton of stuff. It's a 1-year guy. A team's going to rent him for a little bit. But his question was, what's Ben Sherrington done with these guys before? Right? So I went back. 2021 was the first trade, Tyler Anderson for Carter Benz and Joaquin Tejada. Okay. Also in 2021, Brandon Ogle for Abraham Gutierrez. You might actually know the Gutierrez name more than the Ogle name, depending on how in-depth you watch. And then they also traded Austin Davis to the Red Sox for Michael Chavis. You certainly know Chavis more than Austin Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're not talking about him yet. We'll get there. Next year, it was Jose Quintana. They traded him along with Chris Stratton to the Cardinals for Oviedo and Malcolm Nunez. Johan Oviedo and Malcolm Nunez. They traded Rich Hill along with G-Man Choi to the Padres for Jackson Wolf, Alfonso Rivas, and Estuar Suero. And then Jackson Wolf traded back to the Padres for Kervin Pichardo. And then it's in here, so I don't know if that really matters. Jose Hernandez was purchased by the Dodgers. He was just sent back. And that's it. So I'm just going to do it real quick here. Let's break them down. Tyler Anderson, 435 in 18 starts, traded to the Mariners, had a 481. So he got worse. That means that's always a good sign because that means you can even do even more. He did have a great season with the Dodgers, but you can look up Tyler Anderson. Carter Benz never made it to major leagues. He just retired after in his age 25 season. And Joaquin Tejada is still in the organization. He just turned 22 years old. He's had some injuries. The ERA is not great, but yeah. So that one was kind of like, okay, it's kind of there. Brandon Ogle and Abraham Gutierrez. Ogle is now an independent ball for a couple of years. Pirates actually got him back at one point from the Phillies. Abraham Gutierrez was in AAA, but he's injured. And he's actually played a part in a Greensboro championship. So, like, I don't know. Gutierrez is probably the better player in that deal, but it's not an impact, right? It's not an impact.
Yeah. Right.
Austin Davis for Michael Chavis. Michael Chavis played 2 seasons here. He was a negative .1 WAR, but he had 14 homers in 22. And that's more than Austin Davis did. So again, you're not trading from anything that's good. Here's the first one, Jose Quintana. He was fantastic, right? With St. Louis, He turned it into a 2-year deal with the Mets. He was good there. He's now with San Diego. He's still good. Chris Stratton was kind of the throw in on that one. Malcolm Nunez in Indy right now. And I mean, like, his numbers are fine, but he's how old and he's not here yet. So he's been Rule 5 eligible for multiple years and he's never been picked up. And Johan Oviedo, we all know. So, like, we got our best player in all of these for the guy we traded who was the best player in all of these, in Johan Oviedo. So, he's about to come back. Rich Hill and G-Man Choi. G-Man Choi may have actually lowered the return on this trade by trading him. Rich Hill just started another game. He's 146 years old now. and he's got a 4.70 ERA at the time of the trade. He got traded away and had an 8.23 ERA. He's now making a hilarious comeback at 46, and I'm sure it's going to be ridiculously hilarious watching him go out there. Alfonso Rivas finished the season with Pittsburgh, and like he's never played in the MLB since, but he was part of that 9-run comeback in Cincinnati. So that's like the best thing. And Estuar Suero is still 19 years old, so the verdict's still out. He is our number 24 prospect. So maybe Suero, I hope I'm saying that right, is better than Rich Hill, because I mean, like Jake's better than Rich Hill. So the last one is Jackson Wolf, and he ended up getting traded back. So he got traded back for Kervin Pichardo, who's also still in the system. Second year in Altoona. The numbers aren't awesome. So he's 23 and he's in Altoona. He has 7 home runs, but the average on base is 300. You know what I'm saying? So like when you look back, you're looking at maybe, I mean, where does, here we go. We got the chats. OG brings up a good point. Rich Hill keeps me younger than an active MLB player. I thank him for that. Yeah. That might be his greatest accomplishment since he's been in Pittsburgh. I'm just kidding. I like to pile it on. All right. Here it is. 0-1 with a 1.80 ERA in KC. Anyway, there hasn't really been a lot to trade from. Jose Quintana's the best. Really, if you want to look at any of those guys, like Heaney's not Jose Quintana level. He's probably Rich Hill level at this point. As far as like just the numbers from this season, right? So not the career and not the age that Rich Hill was at the time of the deal. But like what I'm saying is like the numbers are there. Like
I like the comp with Tyler Anderson, to be honest. Better than Rich Hill.
Heaney has a 4.79. If you look back at the Tyler Anderson deal, at the time of the trade, he had a 4.35. So I'd say that's probably pretty close. Heaney's also had some like dominant games. Heaney's had a better career than Anderson had to that point. Yeah. So that's a pretty good comp. In that trade, I mean, they got Joaquin Tejada, who's still in the system, but he's not, you know, maybe if he didn't get injured, maybe that career looks a little bit different, but it's just hard to tell.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you could trust the development staff a little bit. They've earned that if they could have had more development time rather than injury time, maybe this could be something else. But Carter Benz was never really anything.
Yeah.
Here's an update on the Seth Lugo thing you brought up earlier. Rosati's in here. He said 2 years, 46 with a vesting option. Dude, this is like
weird.
Dude, KC, I'm telling you, they are the Pirates. They've got great pitching right now. They've got no offense. The only difference between the two teams is Bobby Witt. You look at the rest of the lineup. I mean, Salvi, right, with his power, it's better this year. But like last year, they were in the postseason. You looked 1-1. And it was like, if you put Bobby Witt on the Pirates, it's that same team.
Yeah.
And I mean, like the rest of the team hits the way the Pirates hit last year. Now this year, like a little bit different because Brian Reynolds' struggles have severely impacted that comparison.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's essentially what it is. And like, look, they're going out and spending 2 years, $46 million on a guy to make sure that pitching stays. I don't know. It's good. I still don't understand what the Royals are doing, acting like they're in anything. They could be next year though. I don't see how Frazier, Grichuk, and Rich Hill help any. Rich Hill, you didn't have to give anybody up for at least.
Right.
But like, I don't know how you, I don't know. Jim says, I'm good with either a lottery DSL guy or a close to MLB ready reliever. I actually really like the reliever part. I was actually thinking of that too in my head, just saying like, if they could just get a reliever that's going to be like that, you could get into the majors, because if you're going to deal from the reliever pool, I'd rather have somebody else, maybe along the lines of, and don't get it twisted here, but maybe even somebody along the lines of Colin Holderman. You know what I mean? Not the same performance, but like he was a guy that
obviously
he didn't have a lot of experience, but he had this stuff. Maybe a little younger, but like the thing is like if you could do something like that, I don't know. Yeah, it's a good point, Jim. And like I said, I was mostly talking about last year. Cags wasn't in the picture last year. But yeah, I mean, I like Pasquatch too. You know what I'm saying? Like I think there's guys there, but the playoff team last year was like you look at the OPS plus across the board. You were basically looking at the Pirates offense plus and like a really elite season from a guy as young as Bobby Witt was. So
Right, yeah.
But yeah, like so Jim says Holderman's a good example. Somebody who has the stuff. Actually, Bucko Mike says Moretta's been good in his last 20 innings. Dowry Moretta is actually a really good example of that too, right? Had a cup of coffee with the Reds, and then we did the swap for Kevin Newman. Somebody like Dowry Moretta is another good example of a guy that would be good to get back for Heaney. If you're a playoff team with making a push and you have some of those guys, then yeah, I could see that. Or really even any pitcher that's like, we don't trust him to come up right now. We'd rather have Heaney, but he could be up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or he could be a reliever. I don't know. But I don't know, man. What is Sherrington going to do? We just looked at his deals. What do you think about those deals? And is there a major red flag there? I think, first off, I think Ben Sherrington I think there's been a lot of bad trades. But if you dig into it and you look at some of these players that we've got in some of these other deals, it's kind of, because like if you think about the Tyone trade, you're like, man, that was essentially got us Spencer Horwitz at this point. You know what I mean? Which is okay, but you didn't get actual players in return that stuck. You know, Rowe had to go, or Ortiz did not come in that trade. That's not who I'm thinking of. Did he? No, he was signed by us.
I'm terrible at this.
Sometimes I get Roanzi and Ortiz kind of lumped together. It was Roanzi, it was Yajure, it was Smith and Jigba, and it was Escado. That's who came in that trade. So Smith and Jigba's gone. Escado's still here, but right, he's not making waves. So yeah, that trade was super underwhelming.
Yeah, for me, like I'm looking at these trades and there's just nothing. It's just not a lot that we had to trade. Like these lefties that we have had, like some of these names on here, just we're gonna get another group of may or may not happens.
Mm-hmm.
Of prospects. And honestly, like I can't ask for a whole lot more than that. Because I mean that's just what we have to deal. Like Heaney's not gonna pull first off, there's no such thing as a guaranteed prospect, but he's just not gonna pull one of those guys. So we're gonna have to just take what we can get.
Yeah. And it was looking like he could have gotten us more of a Quintana return.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Where you could say Oviedo was like a much better version of the Colin Holderman that we were just talking about, right? A guy who was already kind of getting his legs underneath him in the major league level, but he was a reliever and he came here and they said, we're going to turn this into a starter. And so I think that might actually be, like the example of saying if he had another run less in his ERA, then I could see maybe getting somebody like you would improve the return just for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Obviously not getting into Mitch Keller right now, but we're watching. So without getting into what you expect in return, and I'll just sum it like this. It better blow you away. If it's not a major league player, I don't know why you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
I think of Boston, right? If it's the password, right? If it's just Stinson Garcia, I don't know that that's enough. Like, I don't want a guy mashing in AAA. I want Wilyer Abreu for Mitch Keller.
Yeah.
And they've said they're willing to do it. I want Jaron Duran for Mitch Keller. They've said they would do it. If you're going to make a move, it better be something like that.
Yeah. I said before we started, like, without elaborating on it too much, if they don't trade him, I'm fine with it.
I mean, you're
If
more
they
on
trade
board
him-
with keeping him.
If they trade him, I'm okay with it. I just got to see that return being good.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm only okay with it if, right? If you get something back.
Yep. 100%.
So, yeah, man, I increasingly, so OG puts in here, I don't think Keller gets traded at the deadline. It's off season or not at all. And I mean, I get closer and closer to that. And here's one reason why. You saw McMahon get picked up by the Yankees, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Yankees were interested in Ke'Bryan Hayes. And I have a feeling that, and this is me, right? I have a feeling that Sherrington sits on this stuff and he tries to wait and tries to wait. He's not going to try to make a move until Thursday. And in the meantime, other teams are going to make those moves. If all you need to see is Red Sox get fill-in starter here, and your Keller trades off the board. It's completely off the board. That's it, right? And so same way with Ke'Bryan was a fit for the Yankees. Like, he was a fit there. I think he would have been a fine player there. They really need defense. They haven't had defense at third base in a long time. And he could have hit at the bottom of that order. And like he did today and like he's done all year, he hits with runners in scoring position. And you could see that team utilizing him and fully be through, like, worth that contract. And you could have gotten, that's more of like a lower level, like you could have gotten something for it because of the control.
Yeah.
And because he's going to be a 3-WAR player every year. I mean, I don't know if that's accurate, but his defense alone is going to move that there. And so you get McMahon, and all of a sudden that's blocked. There's no reason to acquire Hayes now.
Right.
And who else? I mean, you're going to send him to the Cubs once again. I'm old school enough to say you don't trade. Like, Aramis Ramirez trade, that was the last guy they would have ever gotten for me.
Yeah.
John Graybo wasn't that. You know, I mean, that's fine. Didn't he get traded there? Gorzalani? Didn't he get traded there? I don't know.
If they
Anyway,
got traded or if they just signed.
if they just signed him. Anyway, the
not
point
sure.
is like, I'm just not doing that. And
Yeah, I'm with you.
so because you waited around, maybe looking for the right player, I don't know. And then he makes the comments today, which we didn't get into. He makes the comments today saying we can't be risk averse. And it's like, sounds like you already were. Maybe not. Maybe they don't want to deal Hayes. And maybe that's part of the whole thing. Martin says Hayes could go to the Tigers. But like, so could Suarez. And they're going to wait around for Suarez to get traded there. And then again, then you're off.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be the interesting thing to see
think
if he
Suarez
does.
fits. Suarez fits a lot better in Tigers. I think they're looking for more homers.
And they're looking for 1 year. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they're looking
Yeah.
for multiple years, then Hayes fits and to go there. And so I don't know. And he's been there before. So like the fact that he's been there
Suarez.
before, and Suarez. So they would like that too. But I'm just saying, that's just where I'm at, right? I'm just saying, like, if he waits around trying to say, like, we'll make a deal on Thursday, I want to feel it all out. And they're like, I got 3 games before Thursday. I need a guy.
Yeah.
I'll take a guy.
Yeah, I'm fine with staying put on some of these guys, but some of them you gotta, like, all of these rentals have to go.
Yeah,
You have to do something.
right. And those moves will
them.
be made. And I don't know when, but maybe not till closer to Thursday. And like I said, you're setting yourself up at that point by waiting around to take less of a player sometimes. And sometimes it works out that you get a better player when it gets down to the wire and somebody says, I really
Crunch
need this
time.
player. The problem is there's other players available. And so if you don't make the move, then I think a guy like Hayes or a guy like Keller makes sense. You still have control of them. You can deal them in the offseason. The only problem is that if you keep Keller, I think it's more of a risk than if you sell him, especially when you're saying that you could get a guy like Abreu or like Duran. You know what I'm saying? Where there's a little less risk there. There's always risk. Every player, any player could fall apart. Any player could have a season like Brian Reynolds just had. Or is having. I mean, it's not over. Keep reminding myself it's not over. But the thing is like, what are you going to, you know what I mean? What are you going to do?
Yeah.
You have to figure out something. Risk, I think it might be if you keep Keller past this deadline, Jake, I think you're committed to keeping him.
Yeah, it's tough too because I mean we know Keller's passed and
he's not good in August
stretch. So you're either taking a risk by saying, the teams are going to watch him struggle down the stretch again.
Yeah.
And it's going to be hard to trade this offseason.
You're not. That's what I'm saying. If he struggles, you're not trading him.
Right. But if he stays consistent to what he's been doing this year so far, now that drives his price tag higher than it is even at the deadline.
Right. So you're taking on a risk.
Yeah.
And I know like a lot of times you're saying like, well, if we get a prospect, then that's a risk. You shouldn't trade him for a prospect. You should trade him for a major league player.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
And that's the thing. That's the other thing too about trading him at the deadline. 90% of the time you don't get that guy back. In the offseason, you can get that major league player back in the return.
And this is a weird situation where Boston has said, I don't have enough playing time for my outfielders right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've got 4 of them here that all deserve to be starters. And one in Justinson Garcia, the password, in AAA, hitting bombs, who could come up here and be another 4th guy once we deal from what we got. They're literally willing to say, now's the time that we would actually do this to be aggressive and to get the right guy. And if it's not them, I'm not making the deal because I don't know how you get a major league player that's not that fit. Somebody's going to get one of those two. I think they'll get a starting pitcher for either Duran or Abreu. I don't think they're willing to give up Roman Anthony, and I don't think they're willing to give up Cedar Rafaela anymore, which stinks because that's the guy I would really like.
Yeah.
I like Abreu too a lot.
He's actually filling in at second right now?
Yeah. Yeah, he's versatile. He can play second, short, and the outfield positions, and he's an unreal center fielder, actually, which would fit well in our left field. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Mike says Abreu would be the odd man out. Right. He's got a gold glove. He's already has 20 home runs this year. Get him in Pittsburgh. He's a left-handed hitter. Get him in Pittsburgh. Let's hit some more homers. And play gold glove defense.
You know who else had almost 20 home runs at the All-Star break?
Who?
Brian De La Cruz.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a different player.
I know.
I see what you're saying.
It's a big difference. A lot of a difference.
A lot of a different player. Brian De La Cruz actually has the potential to hit 40, and it never happened. This guy, I don't see that. But anyway, yeah, dude, it's gonna be an interesting week for sure.
Yeah, and keep the phone close by with notifications on.
Yeah. All right, let's play some music and get out of here. Appreciate everybody in the chat again. Always love having you guys here with us live on the show here Sunday nights. So I appreciate that. But Shark Week's over.
Yeah, it is.
I said something about it every day this week.
I love it.
So, all right, that's all we got. Hey, we won that. Let's go to San Francisco, win again.
Here we go.
Let's go Bucs.
Let's go Bucs.
Thanks for listening to my dad and Uncle Jake on the Bridge to Buctober podcast. Follow them on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Bridge2Buctober. Don't forget to subscribe so you know when new episodes are released. Clear the deck, cannonball coming, and let's go Bucs.